it's me, Stef The Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative. Yeah, hi. Yes, pretty much all this week I am taking over Popcorned Planet. Oh, yes. Oh, let's see if Andy's got a channel to come back to, eh? Hopefully, it's not blown up to smithereens. You can help by making sure that you hit that subscribe button. Make sure also that you turn all your notifications to on so you can make sure every time we either upload a video or go live like this, you are notified. Oh yes, I'm a professional-ish YouTuber of the world right now. I feel so legit. How is everyone doing? Just to make you aware how all this is going to work. To support Andy, if you do a super chat, those chats will take precedence and I will be able to read those. Please make sure, even though Andy's not around, let's try and support him still where we can. In terms of supporting me, there is a pinned comment right at the top of the chat with my Linktree stuff on it. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, you see, no matter how hard I try, there's always something. There we go. Make sure, if you haven't done so already, that you also subscribe to my channel, Stef The Alter Nerd. We have tons of fun on there. If you pretty much like what Andy does on here, you might like what I do over there. Just saying. On my way to building the Alter Nerd tribe up to 10,000 Alter Nerders, so hopefully we can get there. Let's see. But yes, how are you all doing this Monday? It's Christmas week! Yes! And in pretty much a couple more days till it's Christmas, and I'm so ready for it. I've got my Christmas tree up, I've nearly wrapped all my presents, I'm so excited. I just need to get a couple more things for the boo-boos, my dogs, and then it's pretty much all sorted. All kosher. But yes, for everyone coming in, Andy's pretty much on a Christmas vacation this week, and so he thought it was a really good idea to accept my offer to look after his channel this week. Yes, I will be streaming for Andy on this channel Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's Christmas Eve. I don't think you're going to be getting a stream, guys, but Monday to Thursday, it's not too bad, is it? But loving the mods. Thank you very much, all you mods in the chat helping out. Also as well, big massive shout out to the headline chat on the Telegram message board. You guys freaking rock. Thank you so much for all your help today. Really appreciate it. But with that being said, shall we crack on? I think we shall. Oakley dokley. So, ta-da! Oh yes, Britney Spears' ex-manager Lou Taylor, has she finally been exposed by none other than the New York Times. Now, giving you a little bit of a side note here, I've not read this article. You are going to be getting my first proper reaction to the whole thing. So, shall we crack on? I think we shall. So apparently, which I can imagine, I can believe this, Britney Spears felt trapped. Of course she did. Her business manager benefited. Okay. So, Louise Taylor, otherwise known as Lou Taylor or Lou M. Taylor, faces questions about whether she improperly enriched herself as the pop star's business manager. Oof. All right then. So the article goes on to say, in early 2008, small-time Tennessee company with big-time aspirations made a loan to Britney Spears' father, who for years had struggled financially. And less than a month later, after consulting with the owner of the company, TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group, James P. Spears had his daughter placed into a conservatorship, a legal arrangement typically reserved for people unable to care for themselves or work. He would wield his vast power over her life and finances, as we all know, right? Will Morris, I love that. Lucifer, LOL. I like that nickname. I do. I really, really do. But very, very telling, right? Small-time Tennessee company makes a loan to a father, and then less than a month later places Britney Spears into a conservatorship. I'm just saying. So it goes on. Now, before we go any further, I had heard through the grapevine that BJ, that surprise witness, actually helped behind the scenes with this article with the New York Times. I don't know how true that is, but I have heard through the grapevine that did happen. And if it did, that surprise witness, BJ, top marks to your love. Nice one, lass. Absolutely adore the pants off of you. So this article goes on. Mr. Spears soon sent his daughter on a 97-show international tour. And he hired TriStar, to whom he still owed at least $40,000 to manage Ms. Spears' business. Over the ensuing decade, that assignment would generate millions of dollars for TriStar and help transform it and its owner, Louise M. Taylor, into one of the premier managers in entertainment, with clients including the Kardashians. Brittany Good, one of our Popcorned Planeteers, thank you very much for becoming a member and supporting Andy, says BJ mentioned that she did speak to New York Times. Perfect. Nice one, lass. Over the ensuing decade, that assignment would generate millions of dollars for TriStar and help transform it and its owner, Louise M. Taylor, into one of the premier managers in entertainment, with clients including none other than the Kardashians. And we all know that she's involved a little bit behind the scenes in regards to their management, and her name's cropped up a couple of times regarding the whole Astro World tragedy as well. With Travis Scott. So yeah, she's got her fingers in a few pies, this lass. Today, Ms. Taylor, a deeply religious former bookkeeper who had few notable clients before Ms. Spears, faces questions from Ms. Spears' lawyers and others about how much money she made as the pop star's business manager and whether she improperly enriched herself. And absolutely, questions. I'm sorry, there is nothing bad about asking questions. None whatsoever. And I believe, and this is my opinion, my theory, my conspiracy, my whatever, that she has to answer these questions. There is no other way around it. She has to answer these questions. What questions do you think Lou Taylor should be asking? Let me know in the chat. Any that super chat, or send over the questions by PayPal or Cash App. They'll take precedence. I'll read them out. The conservatorship, which California judge ended last month, yes! Hashtag freed Britney, was intended to protect Ms. Spears from financial exploitation. But Ms. Spears has said she felt at times that she was coerced to work. And the more she did, the more money she generated, and the more flowed to the lawyers, managers, agents, and other gatekeepers who surrounded the singer, thanks in part to a variety of unusual financial arrangements. Now, I had heard, again, through the freaking grapevine, guys, all right, that there's an estimate that Britney Spears is worth, what, $60 million, somewhat along those lines? But the amount of money that she was reported to have earned from things like a Las Vegas residency, right? X Factor, all the tours that she did, the albums and whatnot. I mean, $60 million is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't freaking sniff at that. But wouldn't she be worth a heck of a lot more than that? Do you know what I mean? And I'm just asking that question. I'm making any insinuation whatsoever. I'm just asking that question. I'm just saying. Well, near the centre of it all was Ms. Taylor. According to a New York Times investigation based on court filings, financial records, company documents, and interviews with more than 70 people familiar with the conservatorship, Ms. Taylor or her businesses. Now, not long after the conservatorship commenced, accounts for Ms. Spears were opened at an obscure Tennessee firm, Stonebridge Wealth Management. That, wow, what would you know, Ms. Taylor co-founded and co-owned. Oh, yes. While the firm said it did not receive fees for many services it provided, several other manoeuvres appear to benefit Ms. Taylor. Now, I'm not doubting what Ms. Taylor is saying there, or what the firm is saying there. I'm just saying, generally speaking, if you've got a firm, you own a firm, whatever it may be, whatever you do, whatever your niche is, right? And you provide a service. There is a reasonable expectation that you would want to be paid for that service, right? In one way or another. And again, I'm not doubting what Ms. Taylor and her firm have said right here. I'm not doubting that at all. I'm just saying, generally speaking. And we move on. When a security company hired by Mr. Spears surveilled Free Britney protesters who criticised Ms. Taylor, Ms. Spears' estate paid, according to a former employee at the security company. The estate also paid some of Ms. Taylor's personal legal fees, leading Ms. Spears' lawyer to complain to a Californian court. Now, either way, right, I'm sorry, but my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, surveilling the Free Britney protesters, out of freaking order, out of freaking line. As far as I'm concerned, that is encroaching on someone's freedom there to live. Absolutely encroaching on the freedoms of others. And if there's one thing you learn about me, is I am massive on freedom. Massive on it. My whole ethics is literally rooted in freedom of myself and freedom of others. I'm existentialist. Freedom's a thing with us. So, to be spying on the Free Britney protesters, I'm sorry, without just cause, mind you. I'm sorry. No. I'm not agreeing with that at all. And then to add personal insult to injury. Think about it this way, right? You are then, just generally speaking, how would you feel, right? If you're worth millions, right? And I'm again, just generally speaking, you're then forced to pay for someone else's personal legal fees. I know personally I won't be happy with that. I wouldn't be happy with that at all. Now, in 2010, tens of thousands of dollars from Ms. Spears' charitable foundation went to a Christian counselling group with ties to Ms. Taylor and her husband, and whose founder once boasted that the group helped people abandon lesbianism. Ms. Spears has been an icon to the LGBTQ community. Now, a lot of people will shy away from saying this, but I keep it 100. I'm sorry, but whether you are gay, straight, lesbian, or anywhere else, right, on the rainbow, on the LGBTQ plus community, right? You are born that way. Love who you want to love, right? Freedom is freedom. For a group to exist, it's like, to me, that's screaming like gay conversion therapy, which I think is absolutely horrific, awful, should be illegal. I think it's a form of freaking human torture, as far as I'm concerned, right? It's disgusting how any group can be formed to help people abandon lesbianism. Like, I'm sorry, but no. What is wrong with people just loving who they want to love? It's absolutely disgusting. Disgusting. There'd be groups like this still. It's awful. It's awful. Do not agree with that at all. And again, Miss Spears has been an icon and a support of the LGBTQ community. So, not only is she forced to pay for personal legal fees, but, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, right? She's also forced, in a way, if you think about it this way, to invest in ideologies that are not her own. Oof. I'm sorry, but this runs deep. So, Mr. Spears, her father, oh yes, James Spears himself, who collected millions of dollars from his daughter as a conservator, also at time donated 10% of that income to a church run by the Taylors, according to a financial document reviewed by The Times. And if I'm not mistaken, in America, if you have a religious institution, a church of some kind, don't that make you exempt from the IRS to pay tax and whatnot? What the hell? What the hell? Oh my goodness. And Mr. Spears' estate paid for ads in Hollywood trade publications praising Ms. Taylor and TriStar. Wow. It isn't clear if Ms. Spears knew how her money was spent. Here we go with what I said earlier on. Bloody hell. Her lawyer is investigating whether Mr. Spears, Ms. Taylor and others unfairly profited from what Ms. Spears viewed as her wrongful captivity. I'm going as far as saying she was wrongfully captive. Wrongfully captive indeed. Absolutely. And before we go any further, let me just, oh, sorry, I've just got a notification. If you just give me one moment. Oh. Sorry, guys, I'm just double checking something. Oh my goodness. Wow. Now, wow. I'm not going to say your full name, but, Sarah, apologies if I mispronounced your name. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, through the PayPal. Thank you. After the conversion, £51.33. Bloody hell, I am not worthy. I am not freaking worthy. Thank you so much for your generosity. Wow. Thank you so much. That is freaking awesome of you. I can't see if you've made any note. Let me just see if it'll sorry, I'm just trying to have a look now. Will it? Will it do it in here? I'm sure you'll have added a note to it, but it's not showing on my email. So I'm just going to check here. See if it'll do it. Maybe not. No, it's the note is not showing. Sarah, if you're still there, please let me know in the chat if you put a note on there or not. Oh, Steph, you can call me Press Start Mum. Hey up, Press Start Mum. Thank you so much for your generosity. Bloody hell. Wow. £51.33. I'm absolutely gobsmacked. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it, Press Start Mum. Press Start Mum, please let me know in the chat. Did you put a note on there because it's not showing on my email with the notification that came through? Please let me know. And Stacey Cotty, thank you so much for the YouTube super chat. That's going straight to Andy. $2. Thank you so much for supporting him. She just wanted to say, great job, Steph. Thank you. I try my best. I try my best where I can. What can I say? But thank you so much. But yeah, Press Start Mum. Please let me know. Oh, there was a note. It basically just said thank you and Merry Christmas. Oh, bloody hell. Thank you. Wow. Well, thank you, honey. That is so sweet of you. And Merry Christmas to you too. Wow, I'm just proper blown away from your generosity there, lass. Thank you so much. Before I start tearing up, shall we start getting even more angry at this article? I think we should. Oh, my goodness. Right, so according to Ms. Spears, back in June, with that legendary recording we now all know about, they should be in jail. I personally am of the opinion I agree with that. Alex M. Weingarten, a lawyer for Mr. Spears, said that Jamie's administration of Britney's estate was always consistent with Britney's best interests. He said the court, a co-conservator, and Ms. Spears' court-appointed lawyer approved of Mr. Spears' decisions. He added, Jamie has nothing to hide and will therefore hide nothing. However, I pose this question. Why is, and I'm calling him Rosengod, because Rosengard is freaking Rosengod, right? Why is he turning around and saying, look, we're trying to depose Mr. Jamie Spears. We're trying to get all this information, this, that, and the other. And, yeah, he ain't that forthcoming. So, if Jamie has nothing to hide and will therefore hide nothing, how come he's not that forthcoming at the moment for Britney Spears' lawyer, Rosengod? And that is just a question. Again, I ain't insinuating shiz. Press Start Mum, you always step up and offer such a lovely opinion on things, so it was the least I could do. Oh, bloody hell, lass. Well, I am absolutely grateful, blown away by your generosity, so thank you so much for that, Press Start Mum. That will actually go towards the new monitor that I'm getting for the studio. I've got a Dell monitor to the right of me, where I've got the article on and everything, but the monitors, the resolution isn't that good. It's quite dark, so I'm getting a brand new curved monitor. That's a little bit of the moolah, I have to admit, but it will be worth it, to be fair. So thank you. Anything that I get goes straight into my channel. This mic, the camera, the lights, the big crystal, my PC, the Stream Deck, my mixer, everything has been help funded by you generous lot. So thank you so much. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to this. So, Alex M. Weingarten. Oh, we've already read that. Sorry. I'm a professional-ish YouTuber of the world. Have you not noticed by now? Charles J. Harder, a lawyer for Ms. Taylor, said, TriStar faithfully served the estate and helped Ms. Spears build an estimated $60 million fortune. That is a success by any standard. Again, though, I ask this question. Oh, you're seeing a few things. Sorry there, guys. Professionalist YouTuber. Again, I ask a few questions on that, which is this. Why is she only worth $60 million? Again, with the reported earnings that she got from X Factor, her perfume sales are worth billions, apparently. Even just that alone, why is she only worth 60 million? Why is she only worth 60 million? I don't get it. And thank you ever so much to Pip Arrow UK through the PayPal. Thank you so much. Wow. You guys, thank you so much. $13.26. Thank you so much for that donation. Again, that will go towards the monitor I'll be getting shortly. So, Pip Arrow UK, you freaking rock. Thank you so much. I just see the message. Hi, it's Pip Arrow UK. Pip Arrow, if you had anything else to add to that, please let me know in the chat. But that's all it's saying. Hi, it's Pip Arrow UK. But thank you again. Absolutely adore you. Thank you. Anyway, moving back to this. So, that's a success by any standard. Again, why just 60 million? She's got to be worth more than that just in the perfume sales alone, right? I've heard that's in the billions. It's like one of the most successful perfume, like, collaborations with Elizabeth Arden, like, ever. To me, it doesn't make sense. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever on that one, right? Do you know what I mean? And Jean Rigg with a super chat. Thank you so much for supporting Andy there. $4.99. Jean Rigg, one of the OGs on the Stef The Alter Nerd channel, one of my leaders. She says, "Will always support you, Andy, any way I can. Great question. 60 billion sounds better, right?" Hell yeah, it sounds better, 60 billion. Yes. Britney Spears, the Queen, is worth every single penny and more. More than 60 million, in my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. And Heather, whatever, thank you so much for your super chat. Oh, it's super chat sticker. I gotta be opening this up. Let me have a look at it. I love the stickers. That's one thing that YouTubers got right. The stickers are freaking cute. $3.99. Thank you so much for supporting Andy through that. Oh, it's the green blob. Oh my goodness, it's the green blob. Okay, so he's handing out a mug of, like, I'll say Ribena. A mug of Ribena, a mug of blackcurrant juice, and then taking it back. It's like, you can have it, but no, I'm taking it back. You can have it, no, I'm taking it back. Thank you so much, Heather, whatever. You are freaking awesome. Thank you. And oh my goodness. Your support and your amazingness continues to grow. Wow. I've just got a notification on my Cash App. I'm not going to say the full name again, but Kerry, thank you so much. That is extremely generous of you. Once it's translated into pounds, £7.56. Thank you so much for that. And she says for the new monitor, heart shape. Definitely going towards the new monitor. It's a gigabyte monitor. It's like 34-inch widescreen curved screen thing. It's like 160 hertz and like 1 millisecond response time. It's the freaking bomb basically.com. But yes, that will definitely be going towards that as well, Kerry. Thank you so much for your generosity there. I really appreciate that. That's wow. You guys are turning out today. Thank you. So, in regards to the rest of this article, So, Matthew G. White, a lawyer for Stonebridge, defended the firm's work, saying in a recent letter to Ms. Spears' legal team that it worked diligently and tirelessly to provide valuable services to benefit the estate, often for no fee. Now, in the United States, there are an estimated 1.3 million conservatorships, also known as guardianships. Conservators are granted broad powers over a vulnerable person's life and are required to act in their best interests. Okay. Under California judicial rules, the conservator must avoid any personal, business, or professional interest or relationship that is or reasonably could be perceived as being self-serving or adverse to the best interest of the conservatee. Ms. Spears' case highlights how that doesn't always happen and comes amid growing calls to reform a system that can victimise rather than protect. Snaps to this writer right now. Snaps. The dude is going in on this. Yes. And Jane H., thank you so much for your super chat. £10, thank you so much. That's going straight to Andy. Really appreciate you supporting him that way. Oh, it's another super chat sticker. I've got to have a look at this. Ooh. Let me have a look. Hang on. Oh, now this is a new one. Okay, so it's the green blob again. I'm calling it the green blob. And he's just kind of, I don't know, having a very hilarious moment with an LOL. It's quite funny, actually, especially the knickers on him or her. Or is it knickers, or shall we just say shorts? Red and white polka dot shorts. Interesting fashion decision. Me likey. Yes. Thank you so much, Jane H, for the £10 super chat. And Jen McMahon, bloody hell, lass. Thank you so much for supporting Andy. $9.99. That's going straight to him as well. Happy early Christmas, Stef. Well, happy early Christmas to you too. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. You guys are blowing me up here. Let me just double check this situation. Wow, one moment. Okay. I'm just gonna see if there is a message to this. If it'll let me. Oh my goodness. I'm not used to all this love and support, you guys. This is just blowing me right now, blowing my mind. You guys are freaking epic. Wow. Will it show? No, not that. Will it show a message on here? No, it won't. Okay. I'm not gonna say your last name, but Pam, you are freaking epic. Thank you so much for the PayPal donation to me. £15.40p. Again, that's going straight to the monitor. Thank you so much for that. You are extremely generous. Wow. Again, there's no note, but if you do have a note, please let me know in the chat. Again, one of my Alter Nerd tribe members. You are amazing. Thank you. And Caroline, I'm not going to say your last name. Thank you so much for your PayPal donation of $10. Wow, I'm absolutely blown away. Thank you so much for that as well. Again, that's going towards the new monitor as well. Everything's going towards the new monitor. Pamela says, anytime, Steph. Love you, girl. I adore you too. Thank you so much. And Caroline, thank you as well for your $10 donation. I'm just going to see if there's a message from you, if I can find one. Yes, there is one from you that I can find. You just put Merry Christmas, Steph. Well, Merry Christmas to you as well. Sweet Caroline. There we go. Sweet Caroline. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate your face there. That's so extremely wonderful of you. So, Pamela Bunce, hi everyone. Sorry I've been around family problems. Oh, Pam. Well, I'm having my fair share of family problems at the moment, hon. I hope it all works out okay. All right, hon. Sending you lots and lots of hugs your way. Okay, so going back to this, conservatorship should be a last resort, says Matthew S. Rosengart, otherwise known as Rosengard, told a court in August. Hell yes. It should not be a tool for the enrichment of third parties. Snaps. Now, a boat named Perfect. Now, Ms. Taylor, so we're going to get a little bit more information about Taylor now. Ms. Louise Taylor, otherwise known as Lou M. Taylor, grew up in upstate New York. She played for the high school volleyball team and spent a semester at Monroe Community College, but didn't graduate. Mr. Harder noted that Bill Gates and Steve Jobs also didn't graduate from college. Now, in her early 20s, Ms. Taylor got a job as a bookkeeper at a health insurance company in Rochester, New York. Rob Taylor worked as a draftsman in the same building. The pair met at a blood drive and got married in 1989 on their 21-foot boat named Perfect. The bride and groom wore white bathing suits. Fair enough, all right for some. The couple moved to Florida the next year. Ms. Taylor joined a management firm that represented entertainers. In 1993, she started TriStar Accounting Group to serve similar clients. Have to admit, right? I didn't know she's been in that game for so long. To be fair, did not know that whatsoever. So that's certainly interesting in of itself there. So some of Miss Taylor's early customers were amateur athletes who went pro. She also started representing the model Nikki Taylor, the face of many teen magazines in the 1990s. And in 2000, Ms. Taylor sold the business to the accounting firm Gilman Giochia. Basically these dudes. One other thing that you should know about me, if you follow me and you subscribe to me on Stef The Alter Nerd channel, is I am is at pronouncing things. See, I can't even say pronouncing right. I said just pronouncing then. No. Sometimes I'm bad at pronouncing things. This is one of those moments. I'm not perfect. Gilman executives soon suspected that Ms. Taylor was hiding money owed to the company. Oopsie. According to Michael P. Ryan, a top executive at the time and another person familiar with what happened, a locksmith changed the locks at TriStar's offices to prevent employees from entering as an armed security guard stood watch. Gilman's lawyers searched Ms. Taylor's files according to Mr. Ryan and the other person familiar with the matter, and she ultimately agreed to pay the money in question. Ooh, okay. Mr. Harder, the lawyer for Ms. Taylor, said she had temporarily placed funds into a separate bank account because Gilman wasn't paying bills that it was supposed to. He said TriStar was open about everything and did nothing wrong. Well, something stinks. There was no lawsuit or official record of the accusations. The two companies agreed to separate in July 2001, and Ms. Taylor could start anew. Here we go. It reeks of conflict. So by late 2001, the Taylors had arrived in Brentwood, Tennessee, and Mr. Taylor started a chapter of Calvary Chapel, an independent network of churches. He was the pastor, and she was the ladies' ministry leader and joined the board. Ms. Taylor also incorporated TriStar Sports and Entertainment Group. She says, I wanted to create a business management firm that would service athletes and artists and make a difference by upholding morality and integrity, she later said on a podcast. Okay. In 2002, Ms. Taylor co-founded Stonebridge. Her business partner was Mitchell S. Martin, who had been chief financial officer for the televangelist Inspirational Network and a finance manager at Motorola. Okay, so this is kind of ramping up in terms of a little bit more of her origin stories here. Stonebridge was tiny. It had only a few employees and until 2006 managed less than $10 million. To me, that's still a heck of a lot of money. I don't know about you guys. Entertainment business managers said Stonebridge seemed an unlikely candidate to advise high wattage stars. So then, my question is, if that's the case, and Stonebridge was an unlikely candidate to advise high wattage stars, how did she get in on the whole Britney Spears situation? Again, I'm just asking questions. I ain't insinuating anything. I'm just asking the questions. Before long, though, the upstart firm would land one of the world's biggest celebrities. I promise you, I have not read this article, right? I did that on purpose so you could get my first ever reaction reading this. Shiz, Damn. Wow, okay, here we go. Britney Spears, the Queen. There we go. We know about this. Her success opened doors for her younger sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, who in 2005 starred in Nickelodeon series Zoe 101 and became a TriStar client. That year, she turned 14. Oh, so that's how they started to proper get into the business situation of the Spears family. Okay. So again, I'm asking this as a question rather than a statement. So Lou Taylor got in with Britney Spears and her business via her sister Jamie Lynn? And here we go. Mr. Spears would also become a TriStar client. The details of how he and Ms. Taylor met aren't clear. Why would he be a client? Why? He wasn't doing anything. Was he? Was he? Britney Spears began publicly struggling, as we all know. Especially, you know, after the breakup with Kevin Federline. Her father, who had filed for bankruptcy, struggled with alcoholism and faced accusations of certain naughty things and had been largely absent from his daughter's life. But now he re-entered, and around the same time, his daughter needed help. He was working as a cook. Mr. Spears received a loan of at least $40,000 from TriStar. His lawyer, Mr. Weingarten, initially told The Times that Mr. Spears never received a loan from TriStar, but later confirmed its existence. He said TriStar routinely loans money to clients. But I wonder why. Why would Jamie Spears need a loan from TriStar of $40,000? Why is he a client of TriStar first and foremost back then? And secondly, back then, why did he need that loan of $40,000? Doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. And I'm just asking these questions. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. On February the 1st, after discussing the matter with Ms. Taylor, Mr. Spears petitioned a Californian court for conservatorship powers. Court records show. And Mr. Harder said Ms. Taylor did not push for the creation of a conservatorship. Okay. His lawyers argued that Ms. Spears was unable to care for herself and was vulnerable to exploitation. The judge, Reva Gowitz, who I believe has a lot to answer for as well, approved the request. She granted Mr. Spears and a lawyer the power to enter into contracts with Ms. Spears, run a business, and invest her money. Ms. Spears initially got an allowance of $1,500 a week. The amount increased in subsequent years. Mr. Spears would collect an estimated $6 million over the course of the conservatorship. Now, I don't know about you, but if I were a mum and I had a daughter and my daughter was in trouble and I had to look after her, I wouldn't be doing it for money. We're doing it because it's family. It's my own flesh and blood, right? It's what I need to do. It's what I want to do, right? And if I had to take any money, it would just be to pay for the expenses. And make sure that I had enough to live on, but not an obscene amount. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? It's nuts. It's nuts. Now, the existence of the TriStar loan, which hasn't previously been reported, is troubling, said Anthony Palmieri, the incoming president of the National Guardianship Association, which represents conservators. Mr. Palmieri said, "It makes me wonder where the allegiance lies." Now, he's also the chief guardianship investigator for the county clerk in Palm Beach County. Now, he also mentions, is a conservator making decisions in the best interest of the conservatee or the business manager who they owe a debt to? He added, it reeks of conflict of interest. Doesn't it? Mr. Harder said in an email, a small loan later repaid had no effect on TriStar's work for the estate in later years. So, okay. Well, before we go any further, if I just refresh this, I'm not going to be, again, naming names or anything like that, but Teresa, thank you so much for your generosity through the PayPal. Again, after translated, £20.53. Wow, that is super freaking generous of you. Thank you so much for that. Again, that's going straight to the monitor when I get that tomorrow. So thank you so much for your generosity there. I really appreciate that. Guys, I'm just, again, blown away by your generosity. Thank you so much. Again, I don't see any note, Teresa, but if you can let me know in the chat what that note is. If you did put a note on, I don't know. It's not telling me here. I'm signed into Andy's stuff, so I'm a little bit limited to know what my stuff's coming through, if that makes sense. But I won't bore you with details. Just thank you. And if you did have a note, please put it in the chat and I'll see if I can catch that. Anyways, thank you again, Teresa, for that. So kind of you, hon. The circus. Oof. So, under Californian law, conservatorships are reserved for people who cannot feed, clothe, or shelter themselves. Even back then, Britney could still do that, right? Only months after arguing that his daughter was incapacitated and therefore needed to be under his control, Mr. Spears committed her to an 8-month tour named Circus. TriStar was hired to serve as the tour's business manager, handling its finances and accounting, and the tour grossed an estimated $130 million. And Britney Spears apparently is worth $60 million. Like what? There we go. Sorry, I just got some random message there. Sorry, guys. Yeah. 130 million that tour grossed, and she's worth 60 million. Yeah. Teresa, here we go. Steph, I thought I put a note. You probably did. It's not showing up. Technical things. Don't worry about it, hon. It's not your fault. She says Merry Christmas and for the monitor. Thank you so much, Teresa. Definitely going towards the monitor. I really, really appreciate your face again. Thank you so much, hon, for the support there. Okay, so by December 2009, TriStar was finalising a contract to become the manager, not just for the tour, but also for Ms. Spears' estate. The estate includes many, but not all of Ms. Spears' assets. The firm's responsibilities including paying bills and cash management. Okay. Ooh. TriStar would receive 5% of Ms. Spears' adjusted gross entertainment revenue, according to Mr. Harder, who declined to explain what that meant. To me, that means a shiz ton of money is going to TriStar. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. Around that time, Stonebridge began providing Conservatorship with financial advice regarding 3 accounts held at another firm. Ms. Taylor at the time owned half of Stonebridge, which shared offices with TriStar in Tennessee, according to securities filings, obtained via a public records request. Now, in a recent letter to Ms. Spears' legal team, Stonebridge said it provided the advisory services without receiving any fees or compensation whatsoever. And again, I go back to what I said earlier on. Generally speaking, if you've got a company and you're providing services of whatever nature it might be, right? No matter what, you are a company. What do companies aim to do? The main aim, it's to make moolah. It's to make a heck of a lot of moolah. Money, dollar, dollar, pound, pound signs, right? I'm just going to let that linger there. Sorry. I think I lingered a little bit too long there. In a recent letter to Ms. Spears' legal team, Stonebridge said it provided the advisory services without receiving any fees or compensation whatsoever. Okay. Oh, here we go! Court documents, however, list about $300 in advisory fees that the estate paid to Stonebridge in early 2012. Mr. White said those fees were for discreet administrative work requested by Mr. Spears, but he wouldn't elaborate. Well, either they provided advisory services without receiving any fees or compensation whatsoever. Either they did that, or they got paid. Right? In other words, they either got paid for the advisory fees, or they didn't. What do you guys believe? The question is whether Stonebridge was selected because it was best suited to serve Ms. Spears or because Ms. Taylor had a stake in the company, said Michael Ulitzson. Hopefully I've pronounced that right. A forensic accountant and certified fraud examiner. Mr. Harder said TriStar featured Stonebridge on a list of recommended financial advisors, but that it was up to clients to choose. Stonebridge is on the list because it is a boutique that provides high-level services, he said. He added that Ms. Taylor's practice was to disclose her ownership stake in Stonebridge. I tell you something. And I'm not saying she did do this, and I'm not saying any accusations whatsoever. But let's put it this way. Generally speaking, if there is a conflict of interest, if, let's say, you have a company and you have a breakaway arm of that company that's linked, that is an advisor, financial advisor kind of company, right? And they work in harmony. They're quite symbiotic, right? Your main company, you provide a list of financial services and you add yours on, right? if you do not disclose the conflict of interest, information, let's say, that allows your client to make an informed decision of whether they're going to go with you or not for your advisory service for finance, the SEC might have a few questions for you. That's all I'm saying. And the SEC is the Securities Exchange Commission. And I'm not making any accusations. I'm just saying generally speaking. Generally speaking. Now, Mr. White does say that the relationship between Stonebridge and TriStar has been accurately disclosed. So they're saying that when they provided Stonebridge on the list to the TriStar clients, financial advisors, that they did provide the conflict of interest, the information that that client needed in order to make an informed decision on whether or not to go with Stonebridge or go with another company on the list. All I'm saying is, generally speaking, and I'm not accusing them of doing this, it's just on the other hand, if they did not do that, the SEC might want to have a few words. Now, Ms. Taylor apparently sold her stake in Stonebridge in 2013, but the terms weren't disclosed. Now, since then, Mr. White said Ms. Taylor has had no role in the management or operations of Stonebridge. The deal included a provision in which Ms. Taylor would refer clients to Stonebridge, though she could also appoint them to other investment advisors, Mr. Harder said. As of 2016, TriStar and Stonebridge shared clients like the country music stars Martina McBride, Brian Kelly and Tyler Hubbard, who each had millions of dollars at Stonebridge, according to another Stonebridge client roster. Now, perhaps that's how and again, this is pure speculation. I am not accusing anything. It's my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. I'm not stating this as fact. But when she sold her stake in Stonebridge, and she had no role in the management or operations of Stonebridge whatsoever, maybe that's how then she could have offered the services of Stonebridge without providing any other I suppose information about her links to that, because she could then honestly say, well, I don't have any links at all now, I've sold it. Perhaps on the other side, not. Either way, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, maybe the SEC might want to have a look into it. Just maybe, who knows? So in April 2020, Stonebridge entered into a paid consulting agreement with Mr. Spears in his capacity as conservator. 3 months later, a lawyer for Mr. Spears, Geraldine Weil, told the court that he was considering consolidating his daughter's money in one place. Ms. Weil said Mr. Spears had been vetting Stonebridge as an investment advisor for 13 years. So, see, that don't make sense. Let me read that again. So in April 2020, Stonebridge entered into a paid consulting agreement with Mr. Spears in his capacity as conservator. But 3 months later, a lawyer for Mr. Spears told the court that he was considering consolidating his daughter's money in one place. And Ms. Weil said Mr. Spears had been vetting Stonebridge as an investment advisor for 13 years. What? Why take that long? 13 years is a heck of a long time, right? For vetting an investment advisory service. Maybe a year tops, right? Find out how they do for a year's worth of books. But 13? I don't know. That does not make sense to me. Around the same time, Jamie Lynn Spears petitioned the court to move funds in her sister's trust to an account advised by Stonebridge. Jamie Lynn Spears later withdrew the petition. Her lawyer, George Short, said there was no story here but wouldn't elaborate. They're good on not elaborating things, aren't they? Britney Spears' lawyer at the time, Samuel D. Ingham III, had earlier expressed concerns about ties between TriStar and Stonebridge, according to a court filing. In response, Ms. Weil wrote that Stonebridge was independent from and not affiliated with TriStar. And the filing didn't mention that Ms. Taylor co-founded and previously owned half of Stonebridge. And I'm just going to ask this again as another question. Do you honestly believe that TriStar and Stonebridge were not affiliated with each other? That they were two completely independent entities? No affiliation whatsoever? You really believe that? I'll leave that question there for you guys. $8.08 for cookies. What's this? Okay, so two former senior TriStar executives said the firm's finances were kept under such tight wraps that they lacked access to basic information like the company's balance sheets and income statements. One of the most secretive accounts at TriStar belonged to Ms. Spears. Every year, bookkeepers at TriStar conducted a lengthy court-mandated accounting of her estate. Now, I can absolutely understand that. Right? I mean, to be fair, I don't know what you guys, do over in America, but over here with the financial industry, I work in the financial industry in the UK, right? And data protection is a big, massive thing. It's a thing. Yeah? You break any data protection, you are screwed. Screwed, right? So I can imagine that it's going to be very secretive, the accounts. It's a need-to-know basis, and if you do not need to know, then you do not have access to that information. That I do agree with, I have to admit. Now, the resulting documents were both extremely specific and extremely vague. How does that work? So, they listed some of the performance expenses in minute detail. Oh, here we go. So $4.98 at Walmart and $8.08 at Mrs. Fields' cookie shop. Oh, so that's where the cookie tagline comes from. Yet the conservatorship has acknowledged it wasn't providing a complete description of all of the estate's transactions. It would be impractical to fit the business activities and transactions into the form of traditional accounting the conservatorship disclosed in numerous court-approved reports. What? No. When you're doing accounting, right? Because another thing that I do is I'm a treasurer for a charity that I've been involved in for I think 10 years or something, right? So when I'm doing accounting every single year for our accountants to then look over and, with due diligence, make sure all the numbers are right before we then present it to the members of our charity for our annual general meeting. I have to list everything. What's going in? What's going out? To the last freaking penny. Even stamps. I got to put that in. So, again, question. How can they say it would be impractical to fit the business activities and transactions into the form of traditional accounting? Sorry, you list everything that's going in and everything that's going out. It is that simple when it comes down to it. That freaking simple. My then question is, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you be specific of everything that's going in and everything going out? Why? Now, the public versions of the court documents, which are heavily redacted, do not show how much money TriStar received from the estate. In July, Ms. Spears, for the first time, was allowed to choose her lawyer. Damn right. She hired Mr. Rosengod, a former federal prosecutor. Mr. Rosengod, yes, I am calling him Mr. Rosengod, has requested information and documents from Mr. Spears and TriStar that could clarify where Ms. Spears' money went and how Mr. Spears used a network of companies and other entities to operate the estate. Mr. Rosengod has repeatedly asked TriStar a question. How much money did the firm make? TriStar has refused to provide the number. Why have they refused to provide the number? Who knows? TriStar is effectively telling Britney that she should have to pay her lawyers to comb through hundreds of pages of complex, disjointed and incomplete accountings, Mr. Rosengod said in an email to The Times. I'll tell you something, right? If I provided incomplete accountings to the Charity Commission, that's the regulatory body in the UK that regulates all the charities, including the one that I'm a part of as the treasurer. If I provided incomplete accountings to the Charity Commission, I would get shafted. How? I'm just asking this question now. How can you submit incomplete accountings and not get questioned on it and not get shafted? How? Mr. Harder said TriStar's compensation was disclosed in court filings that Mr. Rosengod has. He says Mr. Rosengod is not being forthcoming if he claims that he does not know the amounts that TriStar has been paid to date, Mr. Harder says. So who do you believe? Mr. Rosengod or Mr. Harder, representing TriStar and whatnot? My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, I'm inclined to believe Mr. Rosengod on this one. Just saying. Baptised in the river. Okay, so what's it saying here? So Mr. Spears and the Taylors are close. That's what I've learned throughout all this research and throughout the coverage that Andy has been doing on the Free Britney movement. In 2017, Mr. Taylor baptised Mr. Spears and Ms. Taylor in the Jordan River in Israel. Mr. Spears at times gave 10% of his conservatorship income to the Taylors' Calvary Chapel, Brentwood, a practice known as tithing, according to a 2010 financial document. Mr. Spears gave tens of thousands of dollars in 1 year alone to the church, which is about 500 miles away from where he lives in Louisiana. How Jamie spends his personal funds is not a matter of public interest, his lawyer said. I'm inclined to agree with that, but with one caveat, which is this. However he uses his personal money is definitely his own choice. Yeah, no dispute on that. However, by all accounts, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, this is money that he gained from the conservatorship, from Britney Spears, his own daughter. So, as a conservator, right, is it appropriate that he uses the money that he gains from the conservatorship to donate to the church that Lou Taylor is heavily a part of? And by all accounts, because it's a church, I believe it would be tax-free under the IRS. Therefore, she's getting 100% of it. Or should I say the church is getting 100% of it? Correction. Glenda Martin says it best. Did this money donated come out of Britney's account? That is what I'm trying to say. But you've just said it better, Glenda. Is it appropriate as a conservator for Jamie Spears to use the money that he got from Britney out of her account and donate it to this church, which the article says 500 miles away from where he lived in Louisiana. If anything, why didn't he donate it to a church that was closer to him? Why that church with the affiliation of Lou Taylor? Why? And again, I have to be very careful here. I'm not making any accusations. I'm not making any insinuations. I'm just asking questions. And asking questions is perfectly fine. And yes, again, how Jamie spends his personal funds is not a matter of public interest. I agree. However, when those funds come, by all accounts, from Britney Spears via the conservatorship, with him being the head of, pretty much, I'm sorry, I think it's a legitimate question. The article goes on to say it was not only the money that originated with Miss Spears that went to religious causes linked to the Taylors. Before the conservatorship began, Miss Spears created the Britney Spears Foundation. His main mission was to support a children's arts camp. 2 years into the conservatorship, the foundation was shut down. Why? It was doing so much. I remember back in the day. 2 years into the conservatorship, the foundation was shut down. Tax records show that one of its final payouts was to $42,000 to Mercy Ministries, a Tennessee-based Christian group that works with young women with depression, unplanned pregnancies, and other issues. Okay, well, on the surface of that sounds all right. Okay. The Taylors have donated money to Mercy, and Mercy has donated to Calvary. Mercy's website at one point thanked the Taylors for consistently pouring your time and energy into the group. I'm sorry, but to me, all that just shows that when there was a donation like this, it somehow boomeranged back to Lou. And that, in my opinion, is what it's showing there. Now, while Ms. Spears has been a vocal supporter of the LGBTQ community, Mercy is not. Oh, bloody hell. And on the face of it, Mercy sounded really nice. Clearly not then. In a 2013 book, Mercy's founder, Nancy Alcorn, said Mercy helped people who previously... Oh, bloody hell. Who previously identified as lesbians to adopt what she called a healthy and biblically based sexuality. She said being gay was a product of sexual confusion. Why do people believe that BS? I'm sorry, I'm saying it out loud. I don't care. That is BS. As I said before, and I'll say it again, loud and freaking proud. Love who you want to love. Be who you want to be. Straight, gay, lesbian, whatever you want to be on the rainbow, the LGBTQ+, however you identify with, however you love someone. You have that freedom. Because first and foremost, you are a human being, and we should all be treated equally as such, just as human beings alone. This whole thing of, she said being gay was a product of sexual confusion, that's disgusting. Absolutely intolerable. Disgusting. And I absolutely condemn that statement. That knocks me off. Knocks me the frick off, that. Now, if you believe that, I respect your freedom to believe that. However, respect mine. I don't believe it and I condemn it. I condemn it. Nina Biggar, the former director of the Spears Foundation, said she was surprised to learn of its contribution to Mercy. She said Ms. Spears had wanted the foundation to stay away from religious causes. I would not have advised they receive funding, she said. Mr. Weingart and the lawyer for Mr. Spears said Ms. Spears supported making this donation. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, I think that's BS. No way do I believe that she supported that decision. No way. Not a chance. And anyway, that's a little bit contradictory because the whole conservatorship was based on the fact that she couldn't make a decision in the first place and she didn't know what's what, right? So how, all of a sudden, is she then kept in the loop of the winding down of the Britney Spears Foundation? She then being told that this money is going to be sent to the Mercy whatever. And she has the to be able to say, yeah, I support making that decision. That's contradictory to the freaking conservatorship saying that she couldn't make a freaking decision in the first place and she couldn't put an opinion together to save her life. Hence the existence of the conservatorship in the first place. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. Oh, it's not New York Times that's making me angry. Don't get me wrong. It's these Team Con make me more angry. More angry. Business manager icon. Ooh. Since the conservatorship began, Miss Spears had gone on 2 international tours, released 4 albums, and been a judge on the reality show The X Factor. And again, she's only worth $60 million. In 2016, in the midst of a blockbuster 4-year residency at Las Vegas Casino. And again, I ask, she's only worth $60 million? Ms. Spears told a court-appointed investigator that she wanted the conservatorship to end. She is sick of being taken advantage of, and she said she is the one working and earning her money, but everyone around is on her payroll, the investigator wrote. The following year, Variety profiled Ms. Taylor, whose clients included Steven Tyler of Aerosmith, Gwen Stefani, and Jennifer Lopez. Bloody hell, I didn't know she had those on the books. Wow. Wow. Well, I hope they've dropped her like a hot potato, that's all I'm saying. Accompanying the article was an ad quoting Ms. Spears, so proud to be working with the best of the best. Another ad appeared in 2019 issue of the Hollywood Reporter that featured Ms. Taylor on the cover as a business manager icon. Mr. Harder said that buying ads is a common way for entertainers to thank their representatives and that TriStar was under the impression Ms. Spears had signed off. Oh, so they were under the impression that Ms. Spears signed off. So my question is, was there a chance that she didn't? What? My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, but that's a very, very odd phrase. Under the impression Ms. Spears had signed off. Wouldn't you say that TriStar is adamant that they knew Ms. Spears had signed it off? Not under the impression. TriStar's work for the estate had expanded beyond the traditional role of a business manager. For example, TriStar executive Robin Greenhill controlled Ms. Spears' credit card and administered her medications, according to a court investigator's report. Why? Why? Why all of a sudden is TriStar involved in a medication? They're an entertainment group. They're an entertainment group. They're not doctors. They're not health professionals. Why are they all of a sudden involved in administrating her damn medications? In 2019, the conservatorship lurched into crisis. In January, Ms. Spears cancelled a second planned Las Vegas residency and announced an indefinite work hiatus. Hell yeah. For me, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, she started to fight back. Proper fight back at this point, at least publicly anyway. Ms. Spears then entered a mental health treatment facility in what she said was an involuntary confinement. Interesting how that happens after she refuses to do the second Las Vegas residency. Because if she was doing, right, check this out. If she was doing the second Las Vegas residency as planned, then there wouldn't be an opportunity to put her in that involuntary confinement, would there? Because she'd be doing the second residency, wouldn't she, at Las Vegas? And again, I ask that as a question more than anything else. But you see where I'm coming from there? The cancellation was costly for TriStar, which stood to collect 5% of the revenue. Court documents show Ms. Taylor then asked Mr. Spears to change the structure of TriStar's compensation so that the firm would automatically receive at least $500,000 a year. Ah, okay. So to me, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever, as soon as Britney Spears turned around and said, no more, I ain't working now, I'm on a hiatus, TriStar was like, well, where are we going to get our 5% from now? Because she ain't working. Ah, do you know what? There's a way around it. $500,000 a year. For what? Who knows? But automatically receive at least $500,000 a year? Guaranteed? Question mark? Mr. Spears, of course, approved, drawing protests from Ms. Spears' lawyer at the time. Ms. Spears' confinement turbocharged the Free Britney movement. The vocal group of fans questioned whether Ms. Spears was in the conservatorship against her will. They accused Ms. Taylor of exploiting the singer. In June 2019, the law firm, Sidley Austin, sent a cease and desist letter on Ms. Taylor's behalf to a Free Britney supporter, whose website she claimed was defamatory. The law firm billed Ms. Spears' estate $350,000, which included costs related to Ms. Taylor's legal action. But if the website was being defamatory towards Lou Taylor and not being defamatory against Britney, so it has nothing to do with Britney whatsoever, it's being defamatory against Taylor and not Britney Spears, then how could she bill Britney Spears $350,000 for a website that was being defamatory against her but not Britney Spears? How? Mr. Ingham, who was Ms. Spears' lawyer at the time, said in a court filing that the payments were probably an impermissible gift of the Conservatives' funds to Ms. Taylor, and called for an independent review of all legal fees billed to the estate. Ms. Spears' estate also paid for black box security, which monitored her phone and secretly recorded her in a bedroom, according to Alex Vlasov, a former black box employee. Screenshots of Ms. Spears' text communications were shared with Ms. Greenhill, the TriStar executive. Black Box also kept tabs on Free Britney's fans, who criticised Ms. Taylor and the conservatorship, according to internal Black Box documents. The surveillance was billed to Ms. Spears' estate, Mr. Vlasov said. Mr. Harder said it was appropriate to bill for the legal and security services because Ms. Taylor incurred them only as a result of her work for the estate. So monitoring her text, secretly recording her in a bedroom, monitoring literally her every move, that was okay. Justifies that money being spent. Really? Loving Diamonds. And before we crack on, hey up, Pandy! I see you in the chat. Hi! He says, go, Steph. Thank you. Mucho appreciato, my friend. Your channel's not blown up at the moment. It's still here, thank goodness. So hopefully by the end of the week, that will still be the case. So, in November 2020, TriStar stepped down as the estate's business manager amid growing calls to investigate the firm. Mr. Harder said TriStar resigned after its staff received certain, I don't know, let's say, nasties. The Times contacted roughly 200 people who worked at TriStar over the past decade. Mr. Harder sent 8 cease and desist letters to the Times demanding that reporters stop contacting employees and clients. Lan P. View, one of Mr. Harder's colleagues, emailed former TriStar employees warning of legal repercussions if they spoke with the Times. And many employers told the Times they wouldn't talk because they were scared of being sued. And we all know one thing, and this is why I'm being extremely, extremely careful with what I'm saying here. And a lot of things I'm asking as questions rather than statement of fact, right? Well, everything I'm saying is more question than statement of fact. But here we know that, let's put it this way. YouTubers that have talked about Ms. Lou Taylor have received not very nice legal letters from her legal representative, cease and desist letters and whatnot. They're pretty trigger happy with the cease and desist letters, my opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. Oh, yes. And hey, what are you saying, mate? Andy, thank her for having shows this week. We're almost dark. Thank you, Steph. Of course, mate. We're about it. I'm having loads of fun at the moment, so it's all good. All right, back to vacation. Just sending love. Oh, thank you. And yes, go back to your vacation. Go back to your family. Enjoy Christmas, mate. Your channel is relatively okay hands. Now, on a recent Sunday morning, Ms. Taylor arrived at the newly remodelled Calvary Chapel, Brentwood. About 60 people showed up for the service. A Christian rock band preceded Mr. Taylor's sermon, dressed casually in sunglasses, slacks and an oversized plaid shirt. Ms. Taylor swayed to the music. She held her left hand aloft, displaying a ring with love spelled in tiny diamonds. Nice ring if you can get it. About 3 weeks later, the California judge ended the conservatorship. Get in! Mr. Rosengard is still trying to determine how much money TriStar made through Ms. Spears. He says, I'm embarrassed for the state of California for permitting my father to have me work as hard as he worked me all those years and never seeing a dime. Ms. Spears wrote in a recent Instagram post that was later deleted, I'm embarrassed for all of them and I'm sad for them because I know my value and worth now. Now, this is the bit that I've just clocked that really kind of knocks me off, and I'll tell you why. So research and reporting were contributed by Jack Begg, Susan C. Beachy, Kitty Bennett, Sheila McNeil, Kirsten Noyes and Steve Cavendish. Do you know what as well? Should have an extra name on there. Her name's BJ, that surprise witness. So the New York Times, I applaud you for doing this article, for being one of the first, if not the first, proper, like, legitimate, traditional, legitimate media source to report on Lou Taylor and TriStar. However, recognise your sources correctly, okay? I'm calling you out, New York Times. BJ, that surprise witness, should be included in that list all day freaking long. And I won't be surprised if she was upset or knocked off with it, with her not being included. Apart from that, good job. But it wouldn't have been a good job without BJ, that surprise witness. I'll tell you that right now. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever. So there you go. But yes, so that was the New York Times. And what do you think? Do you think Lou Taylor got destroyed by the New York Times? I'm going to put in a poll. I'm going to create a poll on this one. Yes, I'm getting used to creating polls on my own channel, so I'm going to do it here as well. Why the heck not? Did the New York Times destroy Lou Taylor and expose her? We'll just put yes or no. So did the New York Times destroy Lou Taylor or expose her? So either Lou Taylor destroyed or Lou Taylor exposed. All right. So this is just your thoughts, your opinion, your conspiracy, your whatevers. Did the New York Times destroy Lou Taylor or expose her? So did they go well in and completely destroy, or did they go in and just expose her? What do you guys think? So I'm gonna pop that in the chat right now. And I might clip this for YouTube. We've been going on for just over an hour and a half with this article, so who knows? But guys, do not go anywhere. We are still going to go live. I might just clip this for YouTube. Anyone that's watching this on the replay, you might see a couple of videos that you might be interested in. Go clickety-click right now.